Out on the quiet edges of Coyote Ridge, nothing ever changed. Until one unexpected evening brought two lives dangerously close. A breathless schoolteacher arrived at the ranch with panic in her eyes, and a rugged rancher discovered that what waited inside his barn wasn't just a trapped horse, but a moment that would shake him to his core. What started as a simple rescue turned into a struggle that pulled them closer than either of them intended. One touch, one breath, one mistake, and the rancher froze, realizing something far stronger than fear had awakened between them. As the sun sets and secrets begin to unfold, both of them are forced to face a truth neither is ready for. This night will change everything. Now the question is, will they walk away from what sparked between them? Or will the storm pull them even deeper? Coyote Ridge lay quiet under the warm afternoon sun, the kind of quiet that made even the wind move slowly. The ranch stretched wide in every direction, golden grass rolling like waves, fence lines long and straight, and horses grazing lazily as if nothing in the world could disturb them. Cole Hart moved through it all, with the steady confidence of a man who had been raised by the land itself. Every sound, every shadow, every shift in the air was familiar to him. He had just finished checking the last stall when the silence broke. A frantic knocking echoed against the wooden porch, sharp, uneven, and urgent. Cole straightened, wiping his hands on his jeans. Nobody knocked like that unless something was wrong. He pushed open the door and saw Samantha standing there, breathless, dusty, and wide-eyed. She looked like she had run the whole way from town. Her hair, usually tied neatly for school, had strands falling around her flushed face. She clutched a broken leather strap in her hand, gripping it so tightly her knuckles were white. "Cole, please," she managed between breaths. "I need your help. Something's happened in the corral." He didn't waste a second. "Show me." She led him quickly across the yard, boots crunching against the dirt, her steps uneven as her nerves fought her balance. When they reached the barn, the tension in the air hit Cole instantly, sharp, heavy. A horse snorted aggressively from inside, followed by the unmistakable thud of hooves slamming against wood. Samantha stopped by the doorway, fear flickering across her face. "I tried to calm him," she whispered. "He just got his leg caught somehow. I didn't know what to do." Cole stepped inside and the scene unfolded in a heartbeat. The wild stallion they'd recently taken in was trapped, its leg tangled in a torn harness that had somehow slipped from a hook. The animal thrashed violently, eyes wide with fear, muscles quivering under its glossy coat. "Easy, boy. Easy," Cole muttered, his voice deep, controlled, the kind of tone that soothed even the wildest creatures. Samantha hovered behind him, twisting her fingers together, guilt clouding her features. "I was walking past. I must have startled him. I didn't mean to." "You didn't do anything wrong," Cole said without looking back. His focus stayed locked on the horse, calculating every move, every breath, every risk. The barn felt darker than usual. Shadows stretching across the dirt floor as dust floated in the sunlight that tried to break through. The smell of hay, sweat, and tension mixed in the air. Cole could feel Samantha's worry pressing against him from behind. He knelt carefully beside the horse, examining the twisted strap. "This is tight," he said quietly. "And he's scared. One wrong move and he could hurt himself. Or you." Samantha's voice wavered. "Tell me what to do. I'll help." The barn felt smaller than ever, its wooden beams groaning softly as the storm clouds gathered outside. Dust floated in the shafts of light leaking through the cracks, swirling around Cole and Samantha like the whole place was holding its breath. The wild stallion thrashed harder, its eyes rolling with panic, hooves striking the ground loud enough to shake the tools on the nearby wall. Samantha stood frozen at first, hands trembling as she watched. The horse pull against the twisted harness cutting into its leg. Cole stepped beside her, steady, controlled, his presence alone enough to calm the air. "I need your help," he said quietly, his voice deep but reassuring. "Come here. Hold the strap tight, and when I say push, you push." She nodded, though her breath shook as she moved closer. Cole positioned her hands exactly where he needed them, his fingers brushing against hers for the briefest moment. Even that tiny touch sent a warm shiver up her arm, but she forced herself to focus. The stallion jerked again and Samantha gasped, but Cole didn't let her back away. "Stay with me," he murmured. "You've got this." He leaned in, using all his strength to lift the tangled harness, muscles straining under the dim lantern glow. Samantha pushed where he directed, her small hands shaking but determined. Sweat beaded on Cole's forehead as the horse fought, inches away from striking him with a single wrong move. "Harder," he said through clenched teeth. "Right there, push harder." Samantha pressed with everything she had, breathless, hair falling into her face. Their shoulders brushed, the heat of his body grounding her as the moment stretched tight as a rope about to snap. Then, a sharp crack. The harness gave way. The horse stumbled free, bolting to the other side of the corral. Silence returned in a heavy wave. But Cole didn't move. He didn't speak. He just froze, staring at Samantha, as if something had hit him harder than the danger they'd just escaped. She lifted her head slowly, chest rising and falling with quick breaths. Her cheeks flushed from fear, effort, or something neither of them dared name yet. Cole felt his heart hammering, too fast, too heavy, nothing like the calm control he was known for. In that dim barn, with dust still settling around, them and the echo of their shared struggle hanging in the air, something unspoken sparked between them, something he wasn't prepared for, something that scared him more than the wildest horse on his ranch. Cole stood there longer than he should have, his breath uneven, his hand still warm from where they had touched hers. Samantha brushed the dust from her skirt, but her fingers trembled, the kind of tremble that didn't come from fear anymore. She tried to speak, failed, then looked up at him with eyes that held far more than gratitude. "Cole, I really didn't mean to cause trouble," she whispered, her voice softer than the fading light spilling through the barn door. He shook his head slowly. "You didn't, not even close." His voice sounded different to him, lower, rougher, as if something inside him had shifted. Samantha stepped closer, just enough that he could smell the faint scent of lilac in her hair. The barn was quiet now, only the distant rustle of horses settling for the evening. It felt like the entire ranch was holding its breath, waiting. "You froze back there," she said gently, almost teasing, almost afraid. Cole swallowed, unable to look away from her. "Wasn't the horse," he admitted, his words surprising even himself. "It was something else." A soft, nervous laugh escaped her lips. She lifted her eyes to meet his, and for a heartbeat neither of them blinked. The intensity of it startled her and him even more. "Cole, maybe we should," she began, but her voice wavered, betraying the storm of feelings she was trying to hide. He took a slow step toward her, not touching her, not daring to, but close enough that the warm air between them tightened like a pulled string. "I've worked this ranch my whole life," he said quietly. "I know how to handle danger. I know when something is wild, and when something is worth risking everything for." Her lips parted, breath catching. She wasn't running. She wasn't scared. She was standing there, waiting. And for the first time in years, Cole felt something he couldn't control, couldn't reason with, couldn't bury, something that hit him harder than any storm rolling across the plains. The moment stretched, slow, warm, dangerous. Outside, the sun finally dipped behind the ridge, leaving only a soft golden glow inside the barn. And in that dim, trembling silence, both of them knew one truth. What happened tonight had changed everything.